What's up everybody, Sins for Days here, bringing you some TitanFall 2 amped hardpoint on dry dock. This is going to be a how-to gameplay on TitanFall 2 for hardpoint and amped hardpoint. If you guys are unfamiliar with how amped hardpoint works, it's a kind of a classic spin on the domination styles, so don't be confused when you think of hardpoint. For Call of Duty style hardpoints, there's no rotating neutral control point that you have to then take over and control. It is mostly just domination with a twist. Now the amp part of amped hardpoint means that once you initially take over the spot and you wait another 30 seconds on the flag or a spawn point, that it will occur twice as many points as it normally would. That means that when the point is amped, it's occurring twice as many points than a standard point. So the two important things are, of course, amping your home base, which we already have, and then getting kills in the beginning while it's just pilots on pilots. Now the reason being is, depending on the map, this is dry dock, some of the points are easy to control and maintain with Titans. So especially on dry dock, it's very important that you get your Titan as fast as you can. Right now I'm in the 90% for my Titan, and I'm trying to work up to my Titan to get it as quickly as possible due to the fact that B is so wide open. There's the Harrier that's on B, and then you have these ridges right now, these little platforms that I'm walking on right now on either side of B, and the ability to control B with a single Titan is very important towards the later rounds. So the normal flow of amped goes for about the first minute to 2 minutes. It's mostly pilot on pilot action. Sometimes you'll get somebody who goes really crazy and they'll get a pilot, or a Titan within the first minute and a half, but mostly it's just pilots on pilots, and this is your opportunity to really get used to where they're spawning from and see if you can't get your early kills and to get your Titan. So right there I end up grabbing my Titan, and I'm going to go ahead and drop it on B right here. As you can see where I'm sitting at, no matter where you kind of put it through that window, it's going to want to spawn on the closest object that has clear skies for it to drop down, so I decided to do it right on top of that little Harrier plane. And this is where the fun starts. Domination, or I'm sorry, amped hardpoint is really fun to control with Titans. You can push them out of their spawn like you say I'm doing right here. And the Titan of choice that I use is the Tone Titan. It's got really good damage at range with that 40mm cannon. It's got the particle shield, which I've also upgraded. So I have the advanced particle shield, so it takes more damage and it lasts longer, so I can stick behind it a little further. Now if you guys are unfamiliar with the Tone Titan, I'll probably do a quick tutorial for each Titan as I go through. But the Tone Titan quick breakdown is you have your 40mm cannon, you have your tracker rockets, you have your particle shield, and then you have your sonar for your utility. Now, when your Titan first drops down, you hear your pilot say, or your Titan say, paint targets with a 40 cal, and my systems are at your ready. This means that the more enemies you hit with your 40 cal main primary weapon, that allows you to lock on with your tracker rockets. So it's very important to keep landing those shots. The more shots you land, the more times you're able to paint a target, and the more times you're able to launch your rockets. The reason I like the Tone so much is that the rockets don't have a cooldown period. Essentially you're just always at the ready as long as you're locked onto something and landing shots. So right now I jumped out of my Tone. It was taking a lot of damage and it was gonna die, so I jumped out of it, but I was able to keep B pretty well protected. I jumped out and got the necessary 2 kills on the outside, and I'm just kind of hovering around B right now. I do know that they control A and C, but with the split spawn like they have, it's not really gonna work out for them too well. Eventually they're gonna flip to either A or C, and we'll be able to go ahead and rotate and capture those points. So we still got B, and we're amping B currently right now, so we're still ahead by a little bit, but it's kind of a small margin. Now amped hardpoint goes really fast in terms of the points occurred over time due to the fact that you can amp the hardpoints. Now it's important to know that Titans are good in general for most of the maps, but they're bad for 2 types of engagements that I've seen, or 2 types of objective games that I've seen: capture the flag and amped hardpoint. The reason being is people get so obsessed with dropping their Titans and only working in Titans that they don't realize that they still need to capture the points. And so you can see right now everyone is on the enemy team is essentially in Titans right now. There's a lot of movement on the ground, and they're big and bulky targets. Now while you're not in a Titan, you can go around and just capture A and C. Normally maps, their A and C objectives are protected from Titans. That way you can't get spawn, trapped or spawn killed. So there's a lot of cover. You can see right here I'm running into C, and there's plenty of cover inside C. It's inside of a building, and there's no way for a Titan essentially to kill me if I'm not, playing stupid. And that's the key point, is capture flag and amped hardpoint. People get so distracted with your Titans that they fail to realize it's still an objective gameplay and that they need to take the objective. So it's easy for you, if you don't have a Titan, to go around and just get easy points and get your Titan back up when you need it. Another thing about hardpoint is knowing when to drop your Titan. If you know on your team that you don't have a Titan and the enemy team has 4 or 5, don't necessarily drop your Titan. It's a 5-on-1. They're going to key on you, and they're really going to, punish you, and your Titan's going to be essentially useless. So you got to make sure that you have more than one Titan on the field to match the enemy number of Titans, depending on how good you are in a Titan. I'm pretty good in mine. I play a lot of Last Titan Standing, so I'm got pretty used to a lot of the Titan controls and a lot of the movements and do's and don'ts of a Titan, which is fine there. Enemy players, pilots, are not useless against Titans, so you guys got to remember that when you are in a Titan and you are in hardpoint, to watch out for the enemy players that are as pilots, because they can jump on your Titan and kill you pretty easily by taking out your battery pack. So it's kind of annoying. Like, I got a guy on top of me right now, so I jump out and try to clear the area, and this ends up becoming a problem because I'm kind of exposed and in the middle of a lot of fighting going on right now. But you can see that another teammate of mine has jumped in a Titan, so I necessarily don't have to really worry about it. I want to use my Titan more for just ground control on B and to just protect it for as long as I got left. I have about less than a half of 1 bar to go, and they dropped one in front of me again, and oh, looks like I got dropped on from above. So it does happen. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's not bad. But you can see I'm back in my pilot, and my goal right now is just to secure the points. We see we have A and B both being flipped back to enemy control, and now we're getting totally dominated. And this happens. Amped Hardpoint is supposed to be a fast game. There is a reason for it. So you got to make sure that you're picking your spawns accordingly and making sure that you're still wrapping around pretty quickly to avoid getting spawn locked in one location. That's a fight I don't really want to take. You're not going to be able to really solo kill a Titan as a pilot from full health, so there's no real point in taking that. Remember, as a pilot, you want to be able to use your laser cannon, your grenade launcher, your mag launcher, or anything like that, your anti-Titan weapons. You want to use them in conjunction with a friendly Titan that you already have on the field, because that Titan's going to be focused on the other Titan and not on you, and you can actually get in that good chip damage. So it's important to remember that, you're not trying to solo one-on-one a Titan. It's probably not going to work in your favor all too well, and you're just supposed to really coordinate with friendly Titans so that you can run the damage as he's distracting him essentially, and you can get those shots in on the back like I'm doing right now. Game's getting pretty close. We're getting down to the wire right here, and it seems that we have amped C, or I have amped C. I'm trying to always amp my home base. It's important because those twice many points over time, they really do help out towards the later stretches. I've come back from 150 points down to win just by amping 2 bases and just over time winning the fight of attrition, I guess you could say. But dry dock, you can see big open areas, and we actually end up losing this fight. Now, this is the cool part I like about TitanFall, is that even when you lose, it's not over yet. You got to get to the dropship. So I'm going to call in my Titan here, and I kind of like to have fun with it. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to make it to the dropship, which is fine. So this is your chance to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to call in my Titan one last time, and let's see how many I can take out before I go here. Thought there was a pilot that spawned right in front of my face, but I guess not. See, there he is again. Yeah, there he is. So he's got a battery pack, but it's okay. It's not really much to worry about here. They will destroy your retreat helicopter most of the time, so there's no real point in using it. That's one thing I think the game needs to change, is why have the escort if you're not going to be able to get to it quick enough, or if it's not going to land quick enough. There's no real point to it. So you can see right now I got Titans running all in my face, and unfortunately they're making it pretty easy on me by not blocking, not putting down shields, and I'm essentially just got my salvo core pretty quickly, and I got my lock-on rockets going really well here. They should be able to finish them off. So yeah, I mean, that's essentially how you want to end a game. So hopefully you guys like my breakdown and the commentary. Sensor Days, and I'm out of here.